Welcome back to 3 Keys to Successful Self-Healing. We're on key number 3 today. Congratulations on making it here. This is going to be a really important topic because the third key is making a commitment to yourself. Now, you've already done a great job because you're here on key number 3, video number 3, and you've made a commitment to yourself to show up for 1, 2, and now 3. But let me tell you, if you're remembering times from the past when it hasn't been easy to stick with a commitment you made to yourself, let me tell you why. And let me start by telling you it's not because you're unmotivated. It's not because you're lazy. In fact, it's probably because of the exact opposite. There is something that happens in our body, it's an energy dynamic, called the fight, flight, or freeze response, which is governed by the triple warmer meridian. A meridian is an energy pathway in the body. And the triple warmer meridian is the meridian that's responsible for fight, flight, or freeze. When you become overwhelmed and you either fight your way out of it, flight your way out of it, or freeze and do nothing at all. Freeze, I would say, is the most common pattern. And when we freeze, we do nothing. We stop. We quit because we become so overwhelmed that we can't do anything. So we're going to talk about that today, and we're going to do some exercises that you can do anytime you need that show you how to calm that response in your body, okay? In lesson 2, we learned about subconscious blocks, and we're going to come back to it for a minute here while we talk about this fight, flight, or freeze response. The reason it's important is because sometimes we have a subconscious belief or pattern that makes us feel or makes our bodies feel like it's unsafe to change. And when we feel at a subconscious level that it's unsafe to change, what that does is it triggers our fight, flight, or freeze response. So imagine you're trying to make a commitment to yourself and do all of these good things, but your body senses that a change is happening or a change is coming. And that subconscious block or that thing in your body or your mind is saying, change is going to happen, that's not safe. I feel so freaked out, so overwhelmed, so fearful. I don't want anything to change because I can't handle it. So it almost works as a self-sabotage where you're trying to do something positive for yourself, but your body goes into resistance mode because for the triple warmer meridian, which protects you and sends off that fight, flight, or freeze response when it thinks you're in danger, it's actually perceiving this new positive thing you're trying to do as change, and it thinks change is bad. So it really throws you off when you try to commit to doing something good for yourself. So what we're going to do today is teach you a couple of techniques to calm the fight, flight, or freeze response so that you can move forward and past it and do the good things that you commit to doing. Does that sound good? So let's learn a couple of quick energy techniques that I use all the time, that I teach my clients and use for myself, that will really help you. The first one is actually calming the triple warmer meridian. The triple warmer energy pathway runs on the side of your face and the side of your head, down your neck, by your shoulder, down your arm, and off your hand. So one way we can calm this is actually to use the energetic the energy in our hands and to trace that energy down and calm it down with our own body. How we do that is we put our hands here over our temples. We take a nice big deep breath. Exhale. Another nice big deep breath. Exhale. And then we just, against our head, run our hands down the sides around our ears, down the sides of our neck till we get to our shoulders. And sometimes I like to do a good squeeze to relax the body. Then we remove our hands, give ourselves a nice tight hug, which is very calming for the fight, flight, or freeze, and firmly drag our hands down, going along the same path until we get to hold our hands. And sometimes I bring that energy back to the heart. So what we're doing is we're basically saying, calm down, body. You're okay. You can get out of that fight, flight, or freeze response. And I usually do it 3 to 5 times. So let's do it again together. Press your hands here. You can press gently. You don't have to press too hard. Take a couple of big deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. And then go ahead, smooth behind the ears, around against your head, down the sides of your neck until you get to your shoulders. Give yourself a good squeeze. Take your hands off, opposite sides. Hug and snuggle yourself all the way down till you're holding. You sort of pulled all that calming energy into your hands. Bring it to your chest. Okay? So that is tracing the triple warmer meridian, the triple warmer meridian trace. And that's in the How to Heal Yourself When No One Else Can book as well, if you need reference or reminder. But very, very easy to do anytime. The more often you do it throughout the day, the more you are teaching your triple warmer meridian or fight, flight, or freeze response to be calm. The next thing I want to teach you is a mini version of tapping. Many of you might have heard of emotional freedom technique, or EFT, which is one of the many techniques I use in my own practice and with clients. But for this purpose of calming the triple warmer meridian, or calming your fight, flight, or freeze response, I'm going to teach you a little shortcut that's easy to do and very effective. We're going to be using 3 different points. The first one is right under the collarbone. If you find where the middle kind of notch in your neck is, where you would tie a tie, and you go out an inch and just under your collarbone, it's right there. You can do both sides, you can do one side, and you don't have to be perfectly an inch out. Just make sure you're under your collarbone. So this is one of the tapping points we're going to use. Go ahead and tap there just for practice. The next one is the thymus gland, which is right about here, about an inch below that same notch in your neck, where a raised area might be on your chest. Some people have more of a raised area than others. The thymus gland, T-H-Y-M-U-S, people always think I'm saying sinus gland, which is not what I'm saying. The thymus gland is the master gland of your immune system. So important to tap here because when we get stressed, what happens? Our immune system gets suppressed. And over time, if we're stressed all the time, which is what's happening when we're in fight, flight, or freeze, it's essentially a suspended state of fear or stress. It affects our immune system. So by tapping the thymus gland, we not only help to release energetic blockages, but we help to instigate our self-healing mechanism through our immune system. So we have point 1 is right under the collarbone. Point 2 is the thymus gland. And if you're not right on that point, it's fine. The percussion effect of the tapping is actually what's working. It's sending sort of a force of energy through and clearing any blockages. The next one is the karate chop point, which is on the side of the hand. Now, this one is used in the typical or the standard EFT, emotional freedom technique. This one is used to overcome self-sabotage. So it's a very special point that we're going to use today, because so much of why we can't commit to ourselves or stick to that commitment is because we have that sabotage of we feel like it might be too scary or something bad might happen or we will fail anyway or whatever it may be. And I should point out, this is a point that's associated with fear, holding fear in the body. So when you tap it, you're actually clearing fear from the body. So what we do when we're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, is we just tap these points. We first tap the collarbone one, and I do 5 to 7 taps. And then we tap the thymus gland. And then we tap the karate chop point. You can go in any order you want. You can start with the karate chop point and then go to the collarbone point and then go to the thymus gland point. And you just keep going through and through until you feel your body calm down. You can also put words with it, which can be really helpful. And the words aren't anything special. They're just exactly what's in your mind. So follow along with me and I'll give you an example so you can see how it's done. So on the karate chop point, you might just say, I am so overwhelmed. Go ahead and repeat. And then on the next point, you might say, I feel frozen in fear right now. And then on your thymus gland, you might say, I want to do good things for myself, but I just can't. And back to the karate chop point, you might say, I don't know why I'm stuck again. even though you do know why you're stuck, because it's the triple warmer meridian, but we're getting a way to fix that. And then back here, I just feel like I can't do anything I commit to. And then the thymus gland, I feel like I'm always stuck in fear. And then back to the karate chop point. This fight, flight, or freeze response. It's really keeping me stuck. So you just vent about it. You just talk about it, say whatever's in your mind. And then when you're ready to wrap up, when you're feeling a little calmer, you just say a few positive things. I can relax now, and just repeat after me and tap. I'm ready to move forward now. I can do this now. So those last two techniques, the tapping through the points and the calming the triple warmer meridian, I recommend you do those a few times a day. And if you can stick to it for even 30 days, just a few minutes a day, you will see a huge difference, because fight, flight, or freeze, or overwhelm actually becomes a pattern or a bad habit in the body. So it's like any bad habit where you have to introduce something new and healthier for enough time that you start a new and healthy habit. Congratulations on finishing all 3 lessons, the 3 keys to successful self-healing. I hope you've enjoyed your time with me as much as I've enjoyed it with you. Thank you.